Hey, Redman is in the building. This is the podcast, so I guess I can't use no music. So, hey, Redman is in the building, and I got a PSA, a fucking announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not checked out the podcast called Kryptonians Who Laugh, you're an asshole. Facts. You're an asshole. You got to. You want some funny shit? All right? You want some interesting subjects? Then you need to check out Kryptonians Who Laugh. The name of the channel itself is called The Fortress of Awesometude. I repeat, the name of the channel is called The Fortress of Awesometude. How fucking fabulous is that? Give me a fucking break. I know these motherfuckers talk about weed on there. They got to be talking about smoking weed on that show with a fucking name like that. The name of the host is called Kalel Creed. Kalel, what's good? And the co-host name is Zombay-kay. Coolest fucking names on the planet. I bet you they a fucking asshole too. That's right. So don't take my fucking word for it. Don't take Redman word for it, nigga. Go check out Kryptonians Who Laugh. The name of the channel is called The Fortress of Awesometude. The host is Kalel Creed, co-host Zombay-kay, Dion Brinkley, what the fuck is up? And yes, smoke a lot of fucking bud, you fucking piece of shit. This is Redman and I approve this message.
Oh boy.
What's up, everybody? We're back for episode 6. I would love to say that this is the first time we've done this, but those aren't the facts. It's not.
Barely ever is.
Yeah, we recorded an entire episode, a fire episode, one of the dopest episodes we ever did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were both very happy with it.
Yeah, but the damn director and producer forgot to turn on the microphone, so there's zero audio.
Last time we ever hired a guy named Timmy.
Yeah. Fuck Timmy.
Yeah, fuck Timmy.
It was me. I messed it up.
He's Timmy.
Yeah, I'm Timmy. I was so upset. It was good. We nailed it. Hit all our points. In and out. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe we're going to kill it this time. Even more.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't put that pressure on us.
Yeah.
But episode 6.
Episode 6.
Kryptonians Who Laugh.
Yep.
Kalel Creed.
Zombay-kay.
Let's
the
do
Halloween
it.
Lord.
Yeah.
Horror galore.
Yeah, you may have a problem. Every meme that you have online is about how you wish it was Halloween and how it is Halloween. And you will not get over the fact that you love Halloween.
I don't.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I definitely, I'm always like, whenever it gets, January or something, and those like fake Halloween fans come out and start celebrating, like, hashtag I love Halloween. I'm like, you're just jumping on this shit. Like, get the fuck out. Like, I celebrate from November 1st.
You live it all year round.
Like, this is a lifestyle. Halloween is not a holiday.
You live this game.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of us dip our toe in, and some of us swim.
Oh yeah, man.
So
I have a whole like underwater fortress in this bitch.
Yeah.
Like I watch horror movies alone. I'm on that level.
It's true. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
That's his first jam to go to. You want to watch a scary movie?
Yeah. What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah.
Hey, Sydney.
Yeah, that's pretty much him.
Yeah.
But before we go further, thank you, Redman.
Yes, thank you
for the shout out and the what do you call it? The drop.
Yes.
The drop for our show and shouting us out. And he's right. If you haven't watched the Kryptonians Who Laugh podcast, you're an asshole.
You're a fucking nerd.
You're an asshole. Facts. So appreciate that, Redman. Quick Redman story. Well, it's not really a story about him. It's about his CD, Docs the Name. It came out in 1998. I was a junior in high school. Where were you in 1998?
I was 1. I don't know. I was probably being abandoned.
So you were a 1-year-old.
Yep.
I was 17. So
It's okay, Grandpa.
yeah, obviously.
Uh,
But anyway,
mm-hmm.
it came out in '98. I went to the military in December '99. In between that time, I didn't have any money because I was broke all the time. But he was one of my favorite artists.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was in the military, the last week the rules kind of get relaxed a little bit, and we're allowed to go to the BX, which is like the Walmart for the base.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to buy toiletries and soap, and everybody knows what toiletries are. That's what you're supposed to buy, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Dion went and bought Redman's CD, Doc's the name, and I had to figure out a way to buy the CD because I only had a week left, so it wouldn't have been a tall task, but there's nowhere to keep it because your lockers are searched at night while you're asleep. There's a big scary man,
Usually in a tight shirt.
going through your locker.
Mm-hmm.
And in the bottom part of your locker, it's a diagram we have to follow. It has to be laid out perfectly. You have a towel on the bottom. You have your razor laid out. Your soap, rag, everything is folded and everything is neat where it's supposed to be. What I did was I took the CD and hid it under that towel. So it was under the towel, so it looked like it was nothing there. The problem with that is if anything is out of place with your foot locker, with your regular locker that has your uniforms in it, like they all have to be faced the same way. The sleeves have to all fold over top of each other. Your creases have to be straight. If anything is out of place, they will flip your locker. They will pull everything out, throw everything everywhere, and it wouldn't have been a good look if I got caught with that CD.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. It wasn't worth it. I could have just bought it the next week when I got out of basic training. I could have just done that, but I didn't. I just decided to let me risk it all now and and buy it now. So I did, but I didn't get caught. But that's my Redman connection. Is one of I risked it all in basic training for Redman. So thank you for the drop. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
But now that we're here today, which is July 5th, the day after the 4th of July, how was your 4th of July?
It was hot.
Yes.
It was very hot.
I don't think it was as hot as this today, though.
No.
Today is ridiculous.
It's just more of a humid heat.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Today's more of a...
Yeah, that's what it is.
It feels like Satan's taint. I don't like it. But definitely too hot for me. The hottest I like it is maybe like the 50s. Like my apartment sits at 69. My apartment sits at like...
We have to grow up eventually. Go
We're
ahead.
all gonna die. We can have fun. My apartment sits at a cool 69. And even for me, like this is like it's comfortable, you know. Like, but I like if
You
this
would
was
like it colder.
I would like it colder. Like my existence is very simple.
Is that of a penguin?
Wow.
Yeah.
If I can,
You tell me you wouldn't love to live a penguin's life if they live in...
they do slide on their bellies and they knock people over and laugh.
They have flippers and they live in
That's
very
right.
cold temperatures.
Yeah.
So you look like a penguin.
No Halloween though. Penguins will celebrate Halloween.
How many penguins do you know? You don't know that life. They might.
That's true. I know Madagascar penguins. They don't celebrate.
Well, they're dodgy, but anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
We're
Anyway, yeah, got off topic a little bit. Normally I run by the simple law of when I go outside, if I exhale hot breath and I can see it, I'm happy.
Okay.
If I can't see it, could be colder.
That's fair.
Yeah.
When I was stationed in Montana, that was my first duty station. I've always known it gets cold. It snows. It gets cold up there.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea what I was in store for. When it got to its coldest, we weren't allowed to go outside. That's how cold it was.
Oh.
And of course we did to see what the hype was about. But you would breathe in and you could feel your lungs crystallizing. You could feel it.
Dope.
Yeah, and then you go back inside and then it goes away. It was a dope feeling.
Yeah, that's
I can see how
really
I
cool.
see how it could kill you though if you're out there long enough.
Yeah.
But we're just popping outside like, oh, this is cool, and right inside. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but
Child and child.
yeah. So, but it was a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
So that, of
Who are
course,
from like the South, so they
of course,
never experienced it.
of course, is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, Yeah, I mean, I just remember the feeling of it crystallizing in my lungs. I'm like, never felt this before.
But that's so cool.
Yeah, but they would do a blanket statement like nobody can go outside. It's too cold to go outside.
Damn.
And I loved it. It was awesome. Loved it.
Yeah, sounds good.
What did you do for 4th of July? Did you do anything?
Yeah, we went down to the lake, watched fireworks. I suffered horribly.
In the heat.
Yeah, it was bad. I was like laid out on the grass, like, and my girlfriend, she was sitting next to me, and she's like, "Stop being a baby." And I was like, "Oh." She was like, "I hate the heat too, and I'm fine." I'm like, "You're not me."
We're not the same.
Yeah, no, like I was getting lightheaded. It was honestly one of those times. I can't do heat.
Yeah.
I cannot. I will get sick. I cannot do heat. So it's like, why are you in Virginia then? I'm broke. I don't have a choice. Like, what do you mean? Why am I in Virginia? Like, I have the money to move. Trust me.
Yeah. Somewhere up north.
Yeah, far up north.
To Canada.
Canada, Alaska. Oh, I would love to go to Alaska. Like, not only is it cold all the time, it is beautiful there, dude.
Yeah.
Gorgeous in Alaska. Because there's like little to no pollution because nobody wants to live there. So like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I want to go there.
Yeah.
The murder rate's pretty high, but that's because the population's so low. So if you kill like 2 people, then that's half the population gone. So yeah, the murder rate in Alaska is like, whew, I think it has one of the highest murder rates in the USA. I think it's in the top like 10 states.
That's a weird flex on information. I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just like fictional horror. I like real horror. Eventually, I want us to get into talking about serial killers. I want us to get there. Yeah, eventually we'll get there. Ted Bundy, going to hit you. Okay. But, yeah.
Well, I just went over a friend's house. He had a barbecue. Had a lot of people over.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did fireworks at his house. But they went and got them from South Carolina. Which are the illegal ones. The ones that shoot up in the air and go boom.
Yeah, there were some of those around the lake too.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of those. So it was a lot of fun.
That's good.
Wore the kids out, which is always a plus.
Yeah.
So all four, they had a good day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But something I didn't talk about last week that I really wanted to get into, which is my favorite phrase of the month, last month so far, is what? I'll let you take it away.
It is a magical phrase. It's up there with Hakuna Matata.
I would say so.
Yeah. It's called Boop the Snoot. Yeah. I didn't know that they didn't know what Boop the Snoot was.
Yes.
Because it's such a common thing. And I know we talk about Dead by Daylight every single video.
Yeah.
We'll keep it short.
Yeah, this is a real short. Yeah.
So don't worry. It's just real short. Let me just explain to this. Boop the Snoot is something that pygmies experience as an unspoken law, where if somebody walks up to you and does the emo where they point, and if they time it right, they'll look like they're booping you on your snoot because you're wearing a pig mask. So it's like booping you on the snoot. And we were playing against the pig, and I was saying like it's a pig, and they're like, yeah, it's a pig. I will boop the snoot, and like he
kept running around saying it, and we just cracked up laughing because we had never seen it before.
Yeah, they were.
I never heard that before, so we just cracked. He just kept saying it. Mm-hmm. He's like, "What? I'm gonna boop her snoot. I'm gonna boop her snoot."
Yeah,
and we just was. I had tears in my eyes. I was like, "What are you talking about?" It was so funny. Yeah. And he explained it, and that's all I do now. I try to do whenever I see a pig.
You got a boop or snoot.
That's how you can tell whether
they're a real pygmy.
They're real pygmies or not, because the real ones will let you do it.
Yeah.
Found the other night they don't all let you do it and then run away.
Yeah, no.
Some of them will let you do it and then
don't beat the shit out
immediately kill you. So
yeah,
that happened. But it's
sometimes
fine.
I do that if I'm not feeling generous to let them go. I still have to let them boop my snoot.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, nah, but I hate you, I'm going to kill you, and then but they're like, let me boop you, and I'm like, fuck, and so they boop me, and then I beat the shit out of them. But it just depends. But yeah, we ran into one pig that refused to let us boop the snoot. Refused. Like
he was really upset about it.
I'm still pissed about it. Like I messaged him and everything, and I was offering for him to kill me with an RBT. And an RBT kill is equivalent or more than like a Mori kill.
A reverse bear trap.
Reverse bear trap.
From Saw when they had the
thing on her head that was like
it shoots back.
That we actually don't get to see like the effects of until like Saw 5.
Yeah.
Is it 5?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's when Jigsaw's wife got
Yeah.
But anyway, spoilers.
And it happens in the game, and it's so funny. We did the Jeremy one day.
Yeah, we forced him to put his hands in the thing.
Because on the game, you have to play the game. You have to put your hands in a little saw thing, and you have to keep getting skill checks to get the thing off. And you get the thing off your head, but there are 5 of them on the board, right? Like 5 of it. And if you're not the right one, the little Billy the Puppet will laugh at you. That's how you know it's not the right one. If it's the right one, you'll throw it off your head. Yeah. Well, we did a custom game where it was just us 4, and he was the killer, and he put the trap on Jeremy's head, and we wouldn't let Jeremy go play the game to get it taken off. So we activated the bear trap on his head, and he was trying to get it off, and we wouldn't let him. Every time he'd go to do it, he'd pull him off of it, and or I'd go stand in front of it where he couldn't get to it, and he tried to run away from us. He went and grabbed him and brought him back. We wanted to see his head explode, and we were all teabagging like, yes, yes, yes. That exploded. It was so fucking funny.
I was like, all right, Jeremy, are you gonna use the box now? And he was like, no, I'm not. I'm like, okay, cool. And he's just sitting there playing. He's like, looks at me, looks at the box, and I'm like, don't do it, Jeremy. And he's just like. I'm like, don't do it. And he slowly starts walking towards it. I'm like, Jeremy, no. And then I walk up behind him, like, Jeremy, don't you put your hand in that box. And he just like looks over at me and then looks back and goes,
like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, and just goes, like, Jeremy.
That was truly funny. We were like teabagging, like, yes, because the time you see the time running out, so it's about to happen, and you're like, yes, and it was just his head exploded. It was the greatest thing we've ever done.
So fucking funny, just Jeremy, no.
Yeah, he got bullied that time, but it was worth it. It was worth it. It was good stuff. But
fuck. Okay.
Yeah, that's the history of
Boop the Snoot.
Boop the Snoot. We went to get into it last week when we went on a big long soliloquy about Dead by Daylight, but we hit it now, and that's a good thing.
True.
Remember when we first started all of this, and the goal was to go through a horror movie franchise and talk about the sequels every week? Mm-hmm. Remember how we haven't done that since the first episode?
It's been a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
we got off track.
How do you feel about going back?
That's definitely that.
About getting that done.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
We started with Nightmare on Elm Street. Not Elm Street. We talked about 1. Mm-hmm. How about we talk about 2?
I'm down.
Here in episode 6.
Oh yeah. Episode 6, Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
The Mats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you take it away. Okay. I'll add in as we get to, since this is your jam. So let you jam your jam.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna preface this with there's a lot of people who do not like Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Okay. They say it was one of their least favorite Nightmare on Elm Streets. It's one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Streets, so the polar opposite. And I mean, to be fair, I'm also the polar opposite about the fan favorite, which is Dream Warriors. That's 3. I fucking hate Dream Warriors. I think it's lame. Like, it's just, in my dreams, I'm a sorcerer. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, no. Like, I'm a bad bitch who's also hot. And I'm like, what? Like, it's dumb. It's dumb.
She's the one to die with the drugs.
Yeah. Oh, God, dude. And I have, like, trypophobia, so, like, to see, like, the holes on her arms, like, yeah. Disgusting. But, anyway, yeah, but Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is, ironically, my second favorite Nightmare on Elm Street, only being trumped by the first one because that's what started the genre, so it has a special place as, like, the title holder of the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie, also series. So, I love Nightmare on Elm Street 2 for a lot of reasons. I really don't like how people seem to let the good aspects of it fly over their head. I feel like it's like with a lot of pop cinema or mainstream cinema, there we go, where people jump on a bandwagon. They don't get their own opinions on it. They just listen to what majority say, and then let that form the opinions for them.
Don't be sheep.
Yeah, no. Like, they'll hear at a convention, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 sucks. And other people are like, like, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 sucks. They're like, well, I guess it sucks. And they never adjust their opinions on it. Those people are stupid. You missed the point of the movie. Watch it again. Stop being ignorant. Anyway.
It's a lot to take in at one time.
Oh, yeah, man. One of the main complaints, like you brought up, like where you agree and I agreed, was that they didn't bring back Nancy.
Right.
And that was something we both agreed on, that we wish that they did because we love Nancy. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to have the final girl return. And then I brought up a theory, which I think is true. I think Wes Craven never expected Nightmare on Elm Street to become a franchise. He wanted it to be a one and done, like a nightmare. Mm-hmm. He wanted it to be, movie's over, it's done, it was a nightmare, it's gone. Like it was a one shot thing. But when it blew up as like, holy shit, Freddy Krueger, it make money. So, but I'm under the strong opinion that the ending for Nightmare on Elm Street 1, which had the comically small hole.
You mean the mannequin that got pulled through the hole? It was obviously a mannequin that I would never not say that it was a mannequin. Mm-hmm. This is a mannequin. This is a mannequin being pulled through the hole.
I don't think anybody will argue that.
Okay.
Everybody knows it's a mannequin.
Whoever wants to argue it, come at me.
Yeah, like
through the comically small hole.
Yeah,
that a person would not fit through.
Yeah, no.
And it was never mentioned again.
No, it wasn't ever. Even when Nancy came back in the third one, never brought it up.
She didn't say, "Hey, my mom got pulled through a comically small hole."
Yeah.
And she looked like a mannequin.
Yeah.
She never said that. I don't know why. Mm-mm. Anyway.
I was under the assumption that the reason what happened was at the end of Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Nancy died. She was supposed to be dead. That's why the car closed and it was showing you that's Freddy. You know, that's why it was like red and green stripes. And you heard his laughter and Nancy freaking out as her mom got pulled through the hole and they drove off. That was signifying she lost. Freddy won.
Okay.
But when the fans didn't take to his name Mark Pattinson?
Jesse?
Yes.
I don't know what his name was, but that sounds about right. But
yeah, I think it's Mark Pattinson.
I just know his name was Jesse.
Yeah, but when the fans didn't take to a new face for the franchise, they brought her back in 3 because everybody wanted Nancy back. Mm. And then that's why they never touched on it and then tried to explain it because they were like, about that. But they never even bring up Jesse again in the later movies. Like after 2 is like. People often like to say 2 never happened. 2 was like a fever dream. Yeah. It was 1, 3.
Did like the Halloween where
Halloween 3, I think.
It was 3 with the mask.
Yeah, like people like to skip over that.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, we'll get into that. That's the Halloween series. We're gonna get into that one next. Anyway, spoiler.
October. We do that one for Halloween.
Oh!
See how he perked up just now?
Yeah!
Yes!
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I love Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Obviously, that's clear by this point. A lot of people say like they don't like it because it broke the rules of what Freddy can do, and I say that's bullshit for a couple reasons. One, it was a second movie. We don't know what he could and could not do yet.
Right.
We didn't know that until about 4.
Yeah.
We can accurately say this is what he can do. These are in the realms of his power. You brought it up in 6.1 before the fuckery.
Yeah, and the take with no audio, so it exists.
Yeah, it's here. It's just you just
can't hear it.
Yeah, just our mouths are moving and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
But he brought up a good point where it's like, if something is new brought to the table in like 6 and they never explain it, it's like, that's bullshit, you can't do that.
Right.
But if it's like
at
brought
2,
up,
you can't say that.
You cannot say that Freddy cannot do something. He is a dream demon. He is a man who died, went to hell. Hell said, nah, I'm good, and then he came back as a dream demon.
Okay.
Who are you going to tell him what he can and can't do? I would love to see that conversation. I would love for Freddy to be like shaking somebody and they're like, actually you can't do that because it wasn't stated in the first one. Like, I would love to see that conversation. It would be fucking hilarious. He would likely do it just because you said he can't. Like, it's stupid. So I hate that argument. It's bullshit. The argument of like, well, how could Freddy interact with the real world? It's like, we see that happen in the first one. Nancy pulls him out of the dream. Now you can say like, oh, that was a dream, it never happened. Well, obviously it did because they retconned her death in the third one, so yes, he got pulled out of the dream.
Yeah.
Yes, her mom did die. Like,
yeah.
So he can be pulled into the real world. We see it happen. He can interact with the real world. That's how he can kill you, by hurting you in the dream.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a stupid argument. If that's your argument, you're an idiot. Anyway, I get passionate about this shit, dude.
I just let the dog off the leash.
Yeah, smile or not. Smile or not.
It's like a deaf Jack Russell Terrier.
Over here like Cujo, man.
Yeah.
Hashtag Stephen King. Anyway, so I'm losing train of thought. Yeah, so his powers in Nightmare on Elm Street 2 were fine. I love the preface of it, of him, or the concept, probably the wrong word, preface, wrong word, concept of him possessing someone and using them to kill for him. I thought that was dope as fuck.
Okay. My initial memory of this movie was the beginning bus scene. Where he's on the bus and then the bus driver goes by a stop and he's like, hey, he stopped, and then they end up in the desert somehow. Yeah. And then Freddy gets up and messes up the upholstery and
across the streets.
Which had nothing to do, the bus didn't do anything to him. Yeah. But that's my initial scene. But again, 4-year-old Dion was hunkered in his grandmother's lap because he was scared, and my whole family watched the movie while I was there. But that's all I remember. As soon as I saw Freddy, I was out of there. So, being 4, I didn't watch the movie to begin with at that age. I've watched it since, but you never notice the homosexual tone associated with the movie at first watch, but looking back, it's very obvious.
Oh yeah.
Jesse was. I don't know if he was meant to be written gay but I think he was gay. But that was never stated, and I don't think that it was meant to be written like that. But that's how it kind of came across.
Yeah, I think when the movie was originally written up, when he was designing the script, I don't think he had ever imagined that he was going to be creating a gay character.
Right.
That would ruin someone's career.
Like, then.
Yeah, then it did. It poor guy. It was stupid. But different time. Anyway, he never imagined that. I think definitely as the movie was going, it became obvious that that's what it was. And he didn't fight it because as a writer, when you're designing a story, you kind of let the story go.
Let it play out.
You just let it go. So when he had the original concept of an innocent teenager being forced to murder against their will by an outside presence, possessing them, forcing their way into their body and killing people, that's what he started with. And then it turned into Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and it had a lot of homosexual subtext inside it.
Yeah.
I don't think he meant it to, be like a shot at. When he was concepting it, he didn't mean it to be a shot at the current political environment of the time when Nightmare on Elm Street 2 came out. It ended up being that, though, because of the subtext that was in the movie.
Yep.
So, which I have another opinion that majority of the people that hate Nightmare on Elm Street they hate it because it's been coined as the most gay horror movie to ever exist.
And that's a scary word to people. Gay.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous to me that that's a thing that what somebody else does in their private life, or is all in all a very small part of who they are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
The sexual preference is a very small part of who someone is.
Yeah.
It's really nobody else's business
Mm-hmm.
what someone does in their bedroom. I don't know why I put so much stock into it. Someone being gay, a man like another man, doesn't really affect my day-to-day. It doesn't affect my movement. It doesn't really play into my life. So why would I be angry about it? Like, people hate people who are gay, and I don't understand it. It's what do you think that hate comes from?
I think it comes from ignorance, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a Yoda mentality for my fellow Jedis out there. Most issues in the world, like hate, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, those, big things that we see in the world have the core of ignorance. Because as the wise Yoda, hallowed be thy name, said, was ignorance leads to fear. And the reason why that happens is because I'm sure everyone has heard of, we fear what we do not understand. It's a very blanket statement. People are afraid of the ocean. Why are you afraid of the ocean? Well, there's things in there. You don't know what's in there. That's why you're scared. Shut up. People are afraid of space. They don't want to think about space because it's vast. It's unknown. The unknown scares people. And that's an instinctual thing that was used as an evolution to keep us alive. When we would see a deep, dark cave, we don't want to go in there. Why? Probably a predator lives in there. It's an unknown, so we stay away from it. And that's how our species has survived in a world full of animals that could rip us limb from limb like we were a chew toy. Yeah. So that's how we were able to survive. That instinctual fear has not left. So when people are ignorant of something, they begin to fear it. Because since it's a blank space, their brain will apply things to it. It's the idea of, like, if you look at old Greek art, right? There's no blank areas. Like, I can't remember the type of art it is, but it was on Greek pottery, and they would often cover the entire thing in shapes and designs. There was no blank piece of the art.
Okay.
And that just shows the human psyche. Our brain doesn't like emptiness. It doesn't like an unknown. When you're asleep and you have your eyes open and it's dark around you, you start seeing things, but it's not actually there. It's your brain filling the emptiness. It's the same concept when it comes to, for example, homosexuality. You don't understand this person, and because you don't understand them, your brain decides to try to make you understand them for you.
But what is there to understand about them is what I'm
They're
confused
human.
about. Exactly.
That's all you need to know.
What is there to understand? There's nothing to understand.
Yeah.
Understand why they prefer one sex over the other. Well, why do you prefer one sex over the other?
Yeah, it's just
it's
where your brain's wired.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not important.
Not in the slightest.
And even if you have these curiosities, have a conversation.
Yeah, it's talk to them.
Yeah, it's safe to say that every gay man doesn't want you, or every gay woman doesn't want you. It's safe to say that even if the off chance of this big scary gay man hits on me, you can simply say, not interested.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the conversation. They're not sexual predators.
No.
They're not gonna take advantage of you. They're people.
Yep.
They're people. Have a conversation. I have plenty of gay friends. Have a conversation. Maybe you'll learn a new perspective on life. Not saying that their conversation will turn you gay, because that would be stupid.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No.
Their words don't make you gay.
Yep. Their words don't make them straight.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
The water isn't turning the frogs gay, or
nope.
any of that.
Water's turning the freaking frog gay.
Any of that. None of that's true. They're just they're just normal people like you and I. And if you're curious about something, have a conversation. It'll knock out all your fears, all of your worries, all of your doubts. They will be sure to put your little straight mind at ease.
Yep.
So
I agree.
I just think that we just need to treat each other like people. Treat someone how you want to be treated.
Yep.
If you want to be treated nicely, you treat someone else nicely. You treat people with respect. You come to somebody respectfully and say, "Hey, I'm curious about this. Can we have a conversation about this?" And I am sure 9 times out of 10, they'll be glad to have that conversation with you. But that's really all I have to say on that. I don't really need to finish this movie. But
Sure.
Do you have anything else to add before we finish this off?
Well, I do want to finish off what I was talking about with the ignorance.
Okay,
because,
do your thing.
Yeah, because I was saying that that ignorance breeds fear. You're afraid of what you don't know. You're afraid of what you don't understand. Because you're afraid, you become angry. You become angry at the things that you don't know because you're afraid of them. And fear makes people feel weak, and people don't like feeling weak, especially not big, scary, straight men. They don't want to feel weak.
Yeah.
So, they fear this thing. So I'm going to get angry at this thing. Anger can only go to one area, and that is hatred. So if you're not following me, ignorance breeds fear. Fear breeds anger. Anger breeds hate. And hatred breeds suffering. Yoda. And the suffering comes from suffering for yourself and the suffering to others. Your hatred for this homosexual man or woman brings suffering to them. You're being a dick. And also brings suffering for you. Because you hate that person, you might never meet your best friend. Simply because you hate them. Yeah. So, you're an idiot. Good job.
Yeah. But just ELE.
Everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
As Will Ferrell has said.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Back to the movie.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
Love it.
I would say, what?
Favorite death.
Huh?
Favorite kill. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Favorite kill. Go.
Favorite kill?
Yep.
Oh, no, I wasn't ready for that. I know my favorite scene. I know my favorite...
Go scene 2. Sandwich 2.
Okay. One of my favorite scenes was when he went Wolverine Berserker mode at the cookout. The pool party. I'm sorry, the pool party.
Pool party.
Still on 4th of July yesterday. But at a pool party where he like killed a bunch of people. If you're ever looking for a Freddy body count, this is your one. He goes banana sandwich, and it's really fun.
Everybody.
I think my favorite one is when the guy tried to reason with him.
Yeah, that was funny.
He's looking at him like, really? Like,
yeah.
like help yourself. And then,
yeah.
So it was like it was that was so funny. But that was probably the funniest part. But I think this is the least comical Frederick out of the whole series that we've seen. He was
the movie's called what? Freddy's Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Freddy was pissed.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, since they retconned it in 3, Freddy got beaten by like what was she like 15 supposedly.
Yeah.
He got beat like this mass murderer, dream demon, got bested by a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
He was pissed, dude.
Yeah.
And so I'd be mad too. And then so as soon you thought that you were unbeatable, and you get beaten.
But the Home Alone style traps that were
especially by
kicking his ass like in the second movie was pretty funny.
No, that was in the first one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
The Home Alone style traps.
Yeah, that was so fucking funny.
They were pretty funny. Hit with a sledgehammer in the chest. Took a sledgehammer to the chest.
Yeah. So funny.
This real world hurts.
But yeah,
And why was he so moist? He was very moist in this movie. His face was he was glistening. Why do you think Freddy was so
damp?
So damp, yeah. Like he just shot an R&B music video.
Maybe he was taking the
moisture
out of Jesse's body.
I guess. I guess.
And so it was making him nice and...
He was Vaselined up. He was definitely hydrated.
Oh yeah.
He didn't look as dry as he does later on in the series. He looked very, very nourished.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very wet.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Snyder.
Yes.
Oh shit! Adidas coming. I didn't understand the making him run laps in the high school.
Mm-hmm.
After he called him in the gay bar,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand that being that he was just a gym teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So you catch him in the gay bar. Was he scared that he would out his secret of being gay at the gay bar, or?
Probably.
But that doesn't make sense to me. Like, are you gonna run the information out of him? Like, what's your plan?
Work him down to submission.
I mean, that doesn't guarantee that he's still not gonna tell it.
You tried it with your son, didn't you?
That doesn't guarantee that he's not
Exactly,
gonna
but
do it
you
again.
tried it.
But why did they catch him at a gay bar? It doesn't make sense.
It
It's different.
If you
different.
in that time period, it's just like in the
And
80s.
I'm his parent, so I'm parenting.
Well,
What is?
what is he going to do? Is he going to go to that kid's dad and say, "Hey, this kid was in a gay bar"? That would then ruins Jesse's life because he was in a gay bar. Ruins his life.
But he was a dick, so he didn't care about Jesse.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Even though Coach Snyder was a dick, he still obviously cared about the kids. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a
No,
high school teacher.
Some teachers are just miserable. So
Yeah,
that's not true. So
But it's a movie.
It's a movie.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like, what other many options could you have? You know, you gotta have some suspension of disbelief with how his movies work. And what many options did he have in a time period where you would be killed because you were gay? Because people thought being homosexual was a cancer, so they would fucking kill your ass. His entire life would have been ruined. He would have lost his job. He would have never been able to work again in any high school ever. He likely would have been jumped into or killed by the parents if they found out. Because back then they would see, you're gay, you want my son. No, just because you're gay doesn't mean you're a pedo. So,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. But that's the way they thought back then. And it sucks. It genuinely was really, really bad. But he didn't have many options. On top of that, him as a gay man knows the difficulty of trying to keep it a secret. And then he sees Jesse in a gay bar. He can't go to Jesse's parents and tell Jesse's parents, "Hey, your son was in a gay bar," because then that destroys Jesse's life. And as a gay man, I'm sure Coach Snyder was like, I can't do that to him. So he had to keep it a secret between them. I saw you at the gay bar. I'm not telling anybody. You saw me there. You're not telling anybody.
But could you have that conversation?
Yeah, sure, but we already know Coach Snyder can't talk very well.
Yeah. he don't talk very good.
No. So that's why he's a coach. He's not a teacher. But anyway, shots fired towards every gym coach ever.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome. We're almost done.
Okay. Yeah, the first one was so much more smooth.
Oh shit, Dita's coming.
Yeah, Dita's coming.
Alright. Okay, so back to it's a horrible line delivery in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Except for Jesse, which we agreed on.
Mm-hmm.
And of course Robert Englund, because he's boss.
Yeah.
But it was just a time. If you go back to any of those movies from the 80s, they're all
Like even
have that
yeah.
that like cringy, like ugh.
Yeah, even
Just
watch
have
A
that-
New Hope.
Yeah.
One of the biggest cinema movies of all time. Go watch Star Wars A New Hope and try and tell me that movie's acting is not cringy as hell.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, okay? The only thing that gets close to my obsession with Halloween is my utter worship for Star Wars. I love it. Like, I love every movie. I love the sequels. I love the prequels. I love Disney Star Wars. I love it. People can change my name. I've had the debate where Star Wars haters are like, Disney ruined Star Wars. Man, I'm like, at least we got movies to watch. Shut the fuck up and enjoy it. Anyway, so I love Star Wars a lot. But go back and watch A New Hope. Tell me that acting isn't cringy as fuck.
Okay, well that's fair. I mean, every movie done knocked it out of the park, but this is
No.
like some of these lines in this movie were you were like, I think we could have done that one better. But
Oh, yeah.
sign of the times.
Mm-hmm.
Something else. Jesse murdered a couple of people in this movie.
Yeah.
He showed up to Lisa's house covered in blood.
Oh yeah. After he killed his friend. Impossible. Gay lover.
She didn't freak out at all.
No. Not at all.
Act like it was normal. Friend
I mean-
showed up covered in blood and, yeah, come on in. That's
The-
cool.
Well, to be fair, I've been in a similar situation with you. And I can say, when you're a ride or die friend, you often will not think immediately what the fuck happened. You think, let me grab my shovel.
Let's clear up. I haven't killed anybody
He has.
and came to
He
his
has.
house.
Please. The body's under the floorboards. I'm scared.
But I did find out that if I had to have a body, this guy got my back.
Hey.
So, but okay, I'll give it to the shock factor of it. Maybe she was shocked. Maybe she couldn't process it all. Okay, fine, I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, his glove was different in this movie. Actually, he didn't really have the glove.
He did.
It was there. It was there, but in some parts of the movie, it was just coming out of his fingers.
Yeah, which I thought was dope. During the transformation,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
But the first time he met Jesse, he grabbed his face.
Mm-hmm.
It was just his hand, and then the knives coming out of it instead of his glove.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting take on it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't have a problem with this movie and how it played out. I'm all for trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if something works unless you try it.
Yep, sure.
So I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my favorite, it's high on his list, but I didn't hate it. I like the comical Freddy. I like the joke cracking Freddy, the one who's enjoying his work.
Well, he's also a fan of Chucky, so.
Yeah.
Mr. One-Liner.
People who enjoy their work, I'm all for it. People who have fun on the job, I'm all for it. But
You can't tell me that when Freddy wasn't killing all those kids and the boy was not having a blast.
that was funny. That
But he
part,
wasn't making jokes.
I said that part was funny.
But he wasn't making jokes.
Well,
He was just going
it was still funny.
like whole hog on that
It
bitch.
was still funny. Some of them kills were questionable, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
So the movie ends the same way it began, with them being on the bus, the bus driver passing the stop, Jesse freaking out. But you brought up last time that was from his PTSD.
Yes.
Give me that explanation again, because it was a really good one as to why it happened.
That goes into possession.
and how Freddy wasn't defeated, or I'll let you take that one.
Okay. So, for those who are fans of The Exorcism, this is going to be right up your alley. You're going to really like this conversation. We haven't gotten into the series yet, though. So, okay. There are two types of possession that are within that type of belief system. I don't personally know if I believe in possession or not. That's outside my pay grade. But when it comes into this, the whole, I don't want to call it myth, but if you're offended by that, grow up. There's two kinds of possessions. There is a partial possession and there is a full possession. A partial possession takes place without the entity entering one's body at all. Partial possessions are usually taken within, or taking place within the boundaries of a home, for example. You ever seen Amityville Horror? That's a partial possession. What's going on is the spiritual force or entity or multiple entities are influencing how you feel and how you interact with your surroundings without entering you. They're pissed, you start to feel pissed. They lash out, you start to want to lash out. That's partial possession. You're never entered at all. Most of the time, I studied demonology for a while, and especially with the Catholic Church and how they did a lot of exorcisms. I studied that too. A lot of the times when it comes to exorcisms, majority of them are partial possessions. A full-blown possession where the entity's inside your body is exceptionally rare. Very, very rare. Even in the Catholic Church's idea, it's 1 out of 100 maybe a full body possession. Usually it's a partial. Usually if you get somebody out of the environment that's causing them to lash out the way they are, they're fine. They're back to themselves. Amityville Horror did it perfectly. If you want to see a good partial possession story, watch Amityville Horror. It was based off of the actual events of the Amityville slaughter that took place. But anyway, that's partial possession. What took place in this movie is a full possession, where Freddy entered Jesse's body, and manipulated it. Jesse became a passenger inside of his own body. And that's the concept of a full possession, where you are not controlling what you're doing. You're witnessing what you're doing, you see what you're doing, but you're not the one doing it. Your body's moving on its own. That's a full possession. It's fucking terrifying in concept. To just think about being a passenger inside your own flesh prison is horrifying. So, that being said, a full possession is a little bit more difficult to handle than a partial possession. Like I said just a second ago, partial possessions, pull them out of the environment, they'll usually be fine. Full possessions are different. There's a few different ways exorcists handle a full possession. Sometimes they will learn the entity's name, and that gives them control over that said entity, and then they can invoke the power of whatever deity they worship to get rid of it. Other times it is all about appealing to the person inside. Because like I said, you're a passenger. You're not gone. You're not dead. You're not in some fancy pants limbo. You're in your own body. You just don't have control over it. And usually the way the entity is controlling you is through fear. You're terrified. You're watching yourself, in this case with Jesse, murder people. You're horrified. You're ashamed. You're, like I said, scared. You're all kinds of different words, for negative emotions. And that's how the entity will control you and keep you locked away inside yourself and not fight back, is because you're cowering. So what an exorcist would do is appeal to you. They will try and get you to feel something besides fear, and that will often break the link to whatever is possessing you. That core concept is inside Nightmare on Elm Street too. When Lisa appealed to Jesse's love for her, which is not fear, it's something different. It's a lot more positive. Mm-hmm. And at the end scene, that's why I loved it. When Lisa appealed to him by, confessing her love for him, kissing on him, and Freddy literally melted away.
She kissed on Freddy.
Yeah, she did. She made out with Freddy. She sucked face with Freddy, which a lot of girls in the 80s really wanted to do. But watch a convention, they talk about it. There's a lot of chicks saying Freddy's the man of my dreams and nightmares. I'm like, okay, you're psycho. But anyway, so she appealed to Jesse's love, and by doing so, that broke the link to his fear, and that's what caused Freddy to lose control over him and allow Jesse to come back.
Okay.
That being said, when he was on that bus ride, at the end credits, when that bus ride started, he began to have a PTSD fit, and that's why he started freaking out, which makes sense. If you've ever been in that type of scenario as him, you're going to have some PTSD. You're not just going to shrug it off and be like you're going to fucking suffer. So when he had a PTSD episode,
when the same
events started taking place,
again.
Yeah,
okay.
And it caused him to have that PTSD episode, and his friends were trying to calm him down. It didn't work because they didn't catch it in time.
Right.
He felt fear, and that fear is what reconnected the link to Freddy, and that's why the ending is him busting his hand out of the chick's chest. Is because he's back. That we always knew. Freddy works through fear. Fear gives him energy. And once he has enough of your energy, he can murk your ass.
That's why, jumping ahead a little bit, and Freddy versus Jason, when he came back, at first he couldn't kill on his own.
Exactly, because nobody was afraid of him.
Because nobody knew about him, so he had no power. He tried to kill somebody. We'll get further to that once we get there. But He tried to kill somebody, it didn't work because he didn't have the power.
Yep. So we always knew Freddy needs fear to kill people. We always knew Nancy countered him by breaking the link in the first one by saying, I take back all my energy from you, Krueger. I'm not scared of you. And that broke the link to her, and he was powerless. He couldn't finish her off. He killed her mom, but he couldn't kill her. And we see that happen in 2 also. He tries out possessing somebody to be in the real world again, but the same thing happens. You break the link to fear, and he no longer has control. And people like to say that it breaks the walls of what Freddy can do. I just explained to you within 5 minutes of how no, it doesn't. He's a demon. Demons possess.
All right, excellent explanation. It made the movie make sense to me as to why it happened and how he came back, and perfect explanation.
Yeah.
I think we're good. We nailed it.
Yeah.
With audio.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No, it is.
Okay.
I can check twice.
Okay, good.
You can hear me. Y'all can hear me.
Hopefully.
You can hear me.
You're gonna hear people in the comments who are like, "Can't hear you. What are you saying?" The audio's busted again.
I'll retire.
I'll be here alone.
Yeah. But that was episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
.2, as he likes to call it.
6.2. Second take.
Yeah. Thank y'all for hanging out with us again. Mm-hmm. All the socials have been scrolling by, and you've seen them. And please like, share, follow, all of that happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions, obviously, Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say one segment that's going to be consistent, hopefully now. We're going to try and talk about a horror movie. If you have a idea for a horror series, let us know. We just finished Nightmare 2. We have 4 more to go.
Yeah.
And then Freddy vs. Jason, and then we're done.
Yeah.
So then Nightmare on Elm Street's finished. So it's just 5 more episodes, and we're moving on. We could have been done with Nightmare on Elm Street if we stuck to it.
Right.
God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But again, thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support, the love. Please share it around. If you like it, tell a friend. If you don't like it, tell an enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, make them suffer.
Yeah, exactly. You can always tell somebody.
Yeah, but tell somebody. Do something. And be kind.
Oh yeah, everybody love everybody.
Yeah, everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
Stop being stupid.
Yeah.
We're not 5.
Yeah.
Don't be 5.
Don't be mean to people. Do something nice for somebody.
Yeah.
Open a door, or say thank you, or please, and be nice to your servers and people who work retail and people who are behind the counter, and just be nice to everybody.
Just be nice.
Yeah, just be nice.
It's not hard. It's actually easier than being angry.
Yeah. It takes less effort to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it for now.
Yep.
As always, drink Beppis.
Drink Beppis and boop that snoot.
And boop those snoots.
Mm-hmm.
But wear a condom if you're booping the snoot.
The wrong snoot?
The other, yeah, if you're booping the other.
Happy Halloween, guys.